Congratulations on being selected for a Baylor Mission team this year. We look forward to helping you prepare for this incredible experience, and the first thing we need to do is talk about how you're going to pay for your trip. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to run through payments, donations, and fundraising to make sure you know all of your options for getting this done. So, first things first, what is the difference between a payment and a donation? Well, a payment is not tax deductible and it will be applied directly to your individual balance. Your deposit is non-refundable. However, refunds may be given for the remainder of what you've paid in accordance with the Financial Policies Disclosure, which you can find on your Bears Abroad page. There are many variables that go into determining what can be refunded, so you will need to contact the Baylor Mission's financial team, Polly Flippen and Jennifer Crossland, to request a refund and begin this process. A donation is tax deductible and it is never refundable. If you receive more in donations than you need for your individual trip cost, the additional funds will be used to support other members of your team and Baylor missions. In order to make a payment, you have three options. The first and easiest is to pay online. To do this, you will pull up baylor.edu/missions/pay, select the correct time of year for your trip, and then complete the payment form. Just a heads up, you will know your payment has been completed once you've received 2 automated emails from the UPay system. One will come when you start the transaction, and the second will come once you've entered your credit card information and hit submit. The second option is to bring cash or check by the Bobo Spiritual Life Center and drop it off in person with Jennifer Crossland. If you or your parents are writing a check, make sure you make it out to Baylor University. The final option is to mail in cash or a check. To do this, you will want to address the envelope to Baylor Missions, care of Jennifer Crossland, 1 Bear Place, box number 97013, Waco, Texas 76798. Make sure if you're doing this that you include a note with your name and team name on it with your cash or check in the envelope. In a minute, we will get into fundraising, but first I want to go over the importance of getting your payments in on time. The payment deadlines are set where they are based on when the airline needs money for your ticket and when the partner needs to receive funds in order to have everything set up for you and ready to go once you arrive. It is so important that you stick to these deadlines. If you realize that you will not be able to pay the full amount by the deadline, please contact Jennifer Crossland as soon as you realize this. Our goal is always for you to be able to go on the trip, so we are going to work with you as much as we can. But if we don't know that you are struggling to get a payment in until it's already past due, that takes away a lot of our options that we have to help. If you do not make a payment and are not working with us on an alternative plan, you will be removed from the team. So now on to the fun stuff, support raising. We highly encourage you to raise support for your trip fee for many reasons. One of what we think is the most important reasons is that it allows your friends, family, and sometimes even strangers to come alongside you and offer their support, whether that be financially or spiritually. We know this can be a strange thing to do, asking people for money, but at the end of the day, the worst thing they can say is no. And if you don't ask, they can't give. First, we are going through the logistics of fundraising, and then in a second video that will follow, we will go through the philosophy and strategy of support raising. So, how to fundraise? We have a few options for you. The first option is letter writing. If you've gone on a mission trip before, this is probably something you're familiar with. It is what it seems. You write a letter to your friends and family members detailing why you want to go on this trip, what you will be doing on this trip, and how they can support you. Online at baylor.edu/missions/support-raising, you will find a sample letter as well as a donor form. When you write your letters, be absolutely sure that you include a donor form with the letter and ask your donors to send it back with their donation. If we do not receive this form back, a few things will happen. 1, there's a good chance we're not going to know who they're trying to donate to. And 2, it will be counted as a payment, and thus the donor will not get their tax deduction. The second option we have for you is ScaleFunder. This is an online platform that allows you to raise funds through Baylor for your specific trip. Think of it like GoFundMe, except without the fees or the waiting period that happen there. It will be applied to your trip balance within 24 hours if people are donating through ScaleFunder. You will be receiving an email from Scale Funder after the team has enough deposits, inviting you to become an ambassador for the team. Set up this account, and then you can start sharing out a personalized link to family and friends that will allow them to donate to your trip fee. My two main pieces of advice on this are: 1, share it out often. Think about a Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram post every week or two sharing the progress you've made and what you still need. And 2, make sure that when you do send the link out, that you include at least a paragraph or two about why you want to go and what their support would mean to you. Otherwise, it will show up as a blank link with just asking for a donation, and people are going to think that's a scam. The third option is team fundraising. An option you have is to set up some kind of team fundraiser, whether that be a garage sale in Fountain Mall or a profit share at Chipotle or whatever else you come up with. This is a great way to bond as a team, and the funds raised can be applied to your team however you see fit. So that means it can be split evenly among every participant, among those who volunteered, or distributed to those who may need it a little more than others. If you decide to do any of these things, please make sure that you stay within the fundraising window timeline that was given to your team leaders, and that you let Jennifer in our office know so that she can be on the lookout for any checks that might be coming in the mail. The last thing I will tell you about fundraising is to think outside of the box. Some of the most successful students that we've had do fundraising monetize things they're already doing. So if they're training for a marathon, they've asked for people to sponsor every mile they run between now and January. Or if they babysit often, offering up their babysitting services for donations toward their trip instead of a normal paycheck. Also keep in mind that you are going to be able to fundraise over the holiday break. So ask for contributions towards your trip rather than gifts, or maybe make ornaments to sell. Whatever you think you should do, give it a shot there. Also, feel free to host a bake sale or a garage sale or a pancake breakfast. Whatever you want to try to raise funds, go ahead and try that. We've had lots of good results from people who've thought outside of the box. So one thing you might be wondering at this point is, how do I know how much I've raised? So on Scale Funder, you will be able to keep an eye on how much has been donated towards your trip, but at any point, feel free to reach out to Jennifer Crossland, but especially do when you're getting near a payment deadline so that you can ask what your payment will need to be based on how much you've fundraised up until that point. We know that fundraising for or paying for your trip might be intimidating, but we are here to support you in this process. Please reach out to any one of us in the missions office if you'd like to talk through this more or brainstorm ideas. We would love to do that. You will also be able to find a lot of the same information in a written format on our website, so go check that out as well.